Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley, or Brazos UU for short. My name is Darby, and I'm serving as your worship assistant today. I come to this church because I believe that Unitarian Universalism can save the world, and I believe that we should all support things that endeavor to great things. We are a welcoming congregation, which means that we celebrate and welcome all people of diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. We also strive to welcome people across diversities of race, age, ability, immigration status, and belief. We're also a congregation working for reproductive justice. So whoever you are, wherever you have come from, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We encourage everyone to visit our website, brazos-uu.org. During this time of pandemic and in the midst of our planned building project, the website and our weekly services are our church home. If you might like to contribute your musical talents, if you have a great story to share about your life's journey, or if you have a passion for social justice, we would love to hear from you. If you're interested in getting involved, you can find opportunities on our website. To learn more about our community and what is happening, you can join our email list and our monthly newsletter, and you can find us on social media by searching UUCBV. Today we will have a blessing service to offer blessings to our pets who we love, now or departed. We also offer blessings to all animals, especially insects, who we need to survive.
The Calling of the Creatures by Ian W. Rydell. Come hoof and trunk and tail and horn and paw and wing and claw. Come bird and reptile, mammal born, all full of nature's law. Bring bark and crow and ribbit too, and silent stare and hiss. Bring purr and trill and warble too, and voices no ear can miss. We gather here, each life and all, to celebrate and sing, to honor creatures large and small. 'Tis holiness we bring.
I invite you to light your own chalice, if you have one, as I light our chalice today. Please say our chalice lighting words with me. We light the chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, as a beacon of hope for all who seek justice, dignity, and compassion, and in celebration of the life of truth and meaning we share together. Now all please join me in saying our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Hi, everyone. This is my dog, Baze. He's trying to take a nap right now, but I'm bothering him. He is a 90-pound German Shepherd boxer mix that we adopted about a year and a half ago. We found him at the Bryan Animal Center. They had found him roaming around Bryan. It looks like he was a bred dog because they cut his tail off, but for some reason he didn't make it. We think that he was left off in a parking lot because every time we took him to a parking lot, he would panic. And only until this week, he didn't panic. And we also think that he may have been owned by someone with a pickup truck because he's always going to pickup trucks to either find his owner or just look for food. He used to run away all the time when we got him. But after the fourth time, he came home by himself and hasn't run away again. He certainly wasn't used to going on a leash for walks, and he certainly was not used to going to a city because he was petrified with elevators and never must have stayed in a hotel room because he didn't sleep awake. But he has become our dog, and we have become his family. And he is just really cozy and very, very gentle. So we are so happy to have Baze.
Gather here in the mystery of the hour. 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 Gather here, draw near and power. Spirit, draw near. Gather here in the mystery of the hour. 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 Gather
Our Time for All Ages today is a story about a little girl who gave away a puppy she really loved because she made the decision to help someone else. It's called Layla Raises a Puppy. Layla was staring out the car window as she thought about the worship service she just heard. It was about the UU idea of the web of life. Layla remembered this idea by calling it the spider web of life. The lines of the web connect everything that is alive, people all over the world, and plants, and all the animals. Layla was thinking that she could do more to help the web of life, but she didn't know what to do. How about volunteer at an animal shelter? Her mother suggested. Maybe, said Layla as she gazed out the window. Instead of going right home, her mom parked in front of the local ice cream shop. Hey, are we having ice cream for lunch? Asked Layla. We are. I feel like having an ice cream for lunch today, said her mom. In the ice cream shop, Layla noticed a dog with a bright yellow jacket on it and a stiff rectangular leash. She loved dogs and wanted to run over and pet this one, but its jacket had some writing on it. Mom, what does that sign say? Layla asked. Dog in training. Please do not pet, read her mom. Layla asked, what is that dog training for? Her mother explained that the dog was being trained to be a guide dog for people who can't see, for people who are blind. The person holding the leash was a trainer. A guide dog has to be trained for a long time before it can help a person who can't see. After leaving the ice cream shop, Layla thought about how dogs could be people's helpers. When they got home, Layla asked her mother, Mom, could we get a puppy and train it to be a guide dog? We could be part of the spider web of life. We could help a dog that grows up to help a person. We'll see, said her mom. That night, Layla's parents talked about it. Did Layla really understand that the puppy would only live with them for a short time? What if she loved the puppy so much she couldn't say goodbye when she needed to? But her parents loved that she wants to do something so generous. They thought Layla really did understand how helping the dog to get ready to help someone else was a good way to be a part of the interdependent web of life. Layla and her family signed up to be puppy raisers for a school that trained guide dogs for people who are blind. The guide dog staff interviewed Layla and her parents and visited their home to make sure the puppy would be safe and well cared for. The puppy would live with them until it was about a year old. Layla was very excited to have a pet of her own, one that would grow up to have an important job. Layla's family was introduced to Chester, an adorable tiny puppy. He was so cute. Layla loved him right away. Of course, you'll have to feed Chester and take him for walks, and it's fine to love him and play with him, her mother said. But you also have to get him ready to be a working dog. Take him everywhere you go. He needs to get used to a lot of people, loud noises, and traffic. The whole year Layla was in first grade, she played with Chester every day and took him for walks. Layla knew someday she would have to say goodbye to Chester, but for now, she cherished her time with him. When first grade was finished for Layla, it was time for Chester's school to begin. Layla and her family returned Chester to the guide dog school, which would be his next home. The school told Layla and her family that they could come see Chester graduate from guide dog school when he was ready to go live with a person who needed him. Layla was sad to say goodbye, but she knew Chester would learn to do a very important job. About a year later, Layla and her parents were invited to the guide dog graduation. As soon as Layla saw Chester, she shouted and ran up to him. Chester whimpered with joy when he saw Layla, but he stayed right where he had been told to stay, next to Miranda, the 17-year-old high school girl who would be taking him home. Chester had been trained very well. Layla realized with a little tug at her heart that Chester was no longer her pet. Layla looked shyly at Miranda, and a volunteer introduced them to each other. Miranda has been blind since birth, the volunteer said. This is the first time she will have a guide dog, so she has been in school with Chester too. Now they know how to work together. Chester can help Miranda do things that she could not do on her own. Hi, Miranda, said Layla. Miranda replied, It's very nice to meet you, Layla. Thank you for taking care of Chester when he was a puppy. I can tell you and your parents have done a great job. Chester is friendly and he's very focused. We have been walking around my neighborhood all day by ourselves. Please take very good care of Chester, said Layla. He likes a lot of hugs. I will take very good care of him. I promise, said Miranda, and he will take care of me. After the ceremony, Layla and her parents went home. Even though Layla would always miss Chester, she felt very good about helping Miranda. She felt so good that she asked her parents, When can we adopt another puppy to become a guide dog? The end. I wonder if you've ever seen a helper dog in your community. Let's keep in mind that these animals work so hard to help us. Maybe we can help support people in town raising helper animals. One place in town is called Aggie Guide Dog and Service Dogs in College Station. They have been training guide dogs and service dogs since 1997. That's a lot of guide dogs. As we close our time for all ages today, I want to remind you of our 7th UU principle. We truly are all connected in the web of life.
Hey, in my household, we have 3 cats, 3 boys. Their names are Piewacket or Pie, Pablo, and our personal panther, Pan. They make me think of this 9th century Irish monk's poem called Pangur Ban. I hope you enjoy it. I am Pangur Ban, my cat. 'Tis a light task we are at. Hunting mice is his delight. Hunting words I sit all night. Better far than praise of men, 'tis to sit with book and pen. Pangur bears me no ill will. He too plies his simple skill. 'Tis a nasty thing to see. At our task how glad are we, when at home we sit and find entertainment to our mind. Oftentimes a mouse will stray in the hero's Pangur's way. Ofttimes my keen thought set takes a meaning in its net. 'Gainst the wall he acts his eye, full and fierce and sharp and sly. 'Gainst the wall of knowledge I all my little wisdom try. When a mouse starts from its den, oh how glad is Pangur then. Oh what gladness do I prove when I solve the doubts I love. So in peace our task we ply, Pangur Ban, my cat, and I. In our arts we find our bliss. I have mine, and he has his. Practice every day has made Pangur perfect in his trade. I get wisdom day and night, turning darkness into light. This translation is by Robin Flower. let us join together to share our joys and concerns. We know there are many joys, sorrows, and concerns among us. Please express any joy or sorrow that you wish to share with everyone in the chat box at this time, and let us hold in our hearts any unspoken words. Let us also lift up all those who are suffering from the coronavirus, parents, grandparents, and family members, those who have concerns about their children's safety in school or at home, and to all essential workers who present themselves daily, possibly to harm. Let us remember that Black lives really do matter as we strive for justice, equity, and anti-racism. If you haven't already, there's still time to express any joy or sorrow that you wish to share with everyone in the chat box.
The Raccoon's Lessons, from a book called Earth Medicine by Jamie Sams, a member of the Seneca Nation. The Raccoon's Lessons. The forest was full of homeless and wounded creatures after the Great Fire. The raccoon tribe ravaged all the nearby mountain cabins and brought food to the hungry. The tribe of little bandits worked long and hard hours to supply what was needed to help the other friends of the forest. Mama Raccoon was busier than most of the others of her tribe, mending the cuts and bandaging the burns of those who came for assistance. Days dragged into moons, and still the needy came in hordes. Mama Raccoon was the protectress of the frail, the children, the injured, and the underdog. She took her mission very seriously and labored day after day with little relief or rest. The other raccoons became increasingly worried about Mama Raccoon because she was close to collapse. One morning, Mama Raccoon fell over, barely alive. The others took her to the burrow and nursed her as best they could. In her lapses of dreams and consciousness, Mama Raccoon heard the Earth Mother saying, "You gave all your strength to others, forgetting to weigh the consequences. The little bandit in you who robbed food from those who had a lot, giving it to those who had none, has lost her balance. In order to heal, you will need to see the error of robbing yourself of all your energy and giving it away, leaving you with none." Mama Raccoon learned these lessons and got well. Now she teaches these same lessons to humankind, reminding them to give to the best of their abilities without robbing themselves of their health or sense of well-being. And so it is.
Pearl and Otto by Reed. I am Reed, and I have two pets. They are Pearl the dog and Otto the cat. I love Pearl because she protects our family. I love Otto because he is cute. They are good pets. They are also good for snuggling. They are both white, but Otto has a hint of orange in his fur. That's because he's a flame point Siamese, which means he is kind of rare. They are good pets.
sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now.
Listen to the top where the little birds sing on the melodies with the high notes ringing. The hoot owl hollers over everything, and the jaybird disagrees.
The dogs and the cats, they take up the middle.
While the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles.
The donkey brays
And the pony
and
neighs.
the old coyote howls.
All those critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now.
Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo.
Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day, the little duck quacks, then she's on her way. The possum ain't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself.
All those critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now. It's a simple song of living, sung everywhere. Now the mouse and the fox and the grizzly bear, and the grumpy alligator and the hog above, the sly raccoon and the turtle dove. All of those critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now. All those critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands, applause, or anything they got now. All God's critters got a place in the choir.
Why do we bless the animals? Because they bless us so often. As children, we may have fallen asleep with the purring weight of a cat on our chest or on our head. We watched TV in the company of the family dog. We went exploring in the woods, and our parents would feel safer knowing that the dog was along with us. One of our friends in another congregation had a big pig who used to take walks with him, and then they would nap under their favorite tree. Our dogs and cats comfort us when we cry. They make us laugh. They are a personality in the midst of our family. For most of us, they still do those things. During this pandemic time, the animals in our families have grown in importance. And for many people, they're getting to hang out a lot more than normal. Hello, dogs. Welcome to the service. Hello, cats. So nice to have you with us. And you get to stay home and skip the stress of coming to the church with a bunch of dogs you don't know. Here's what people say about animal companions. They give us unconditional love. They forgive you everything. They think you are the be-all and end-all of the entire universe. They are sensitive to your feelings. They don't care what you look like or what your sexual preference is, whether you have wrinkles or pimples or what car model you drive or what your job is. They just love you because you belong to them. Scientists Brian Hare and Vanessa Woods, both researchers at Duke University's Center for Cognitive Neuroscience, believe something else has been at work among species that have thrived throughout history, successfully reproducing to sustain themselves, and it has nothing to do with beating up the competition. Their new book, Survival of the Friendliest, posits that friendly partnerships among species and shared humanity have worked throughout centuries to ensure successful evolution. Species endure, humans, other animals, and plants. They write because of friendliness, partnerships, and communication. Animals as companions can do so much for us. A study published in the Journal of American Geriatric Society in May of 1999 demonstrated that older people who have pets tend to have better physical and mental well-being than those who don't. That elderly pet owners had significantly lower blood pressure overall than their contemporaries without companionship helps us be healthy and happy. It is part of the art of living. It may be a cat, a bird, a ferret, or a guinea pig, but the chances are high that when someone close to you dies, a pet will be there to pick up the pieces. Pets devour the loneliness. They give us purpose, responsibility, a reason for getting up in the morning, and a reason to look to the future. They ground us, help us escape the grief, make us laugh, and take full advantage of our weakness by exploiting our furniture, our beds, and our refrigerators. We wouldn't have it any other way. Pets are our seatbelts on the emotional roller coaster of life. They can be trusted. They keep us safe, and they sure do smooth out the ride. And now we'll have a blessing for the pets. If you want to get them in your lap or put your hand out, here's the blessing by Nick Trout. His book is called Tell Me Where It Hurts. Bless you for depending upon me, for trusting me with your well-being. Thank you for all you give me in return, companionship, attention, your warm, furry body next to me on the sofa, your tail wagging in joy at my return, your delicious eggs for my breakfast. You have a safe, warm place in my heart. And if you leave this life before I do, I will carry your memory with me always. You opened my heart. You taught me compassion and connection.
If we were having worship service in person, this is the time that we would pass the basket. This church shares the proceeds of the offering plate donation every week to support important nonprofit organizations with which we work. This month, we are proud to support the Confronting Our Racism group, or CORG. The CORG is a nonprofit grassroots group made up of members of the Brazos Valley African American Museum, the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Brazos Valley, the local Black Lives Matter group, with the goal of understanding and confronting racism in our own community of Bryan and College Station. Please be as generous as you can. If you wish to make an offering, you can mail your check, or for your convenience, you can donate online. Our homepage at brazos-uu.org, you can find our mailing address at the bottom, and at the top, you will see a Donate Here link. The link should also be showing up in the chat box now. May each of us look into our hearts. How much love, how much generosity, how much faith, how much gratitude, how much hope is there? We give thanks for these gifts we have been given, for those we receive, and for each other.
I love my pet Daisy because she's always ready to cuddle and watch a movie with me.
All creatures of the earth and sky, come, kindred, lift your voices high. Alleluia, alleluia. Bright burning sun with golden beam, soft shining moon with silver gleam. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Swift rushing wind so wild and strong, white clouds that sail in heaven along. Alleluia, alleluia. Fair rising morn in praise rejoice. High stars of evening find a voice. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Embracing earth you day by day, bring forth your blessings on our way. Alleluia, alleluia. All herbs and fruits that richly grow, let them the glory also show. Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
Now please join me in extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we gather together again.
Our benediction today is a blessing called Blessing for All by L. Annie Forster. My furry, feathered, and scaled friends, I greet you. You come from the same life force of creation that I do, and I greet you as a sister or brother. May your days be filled with love and whatever else you may desire. May your tummies always be full, and may you always have a place to rest. May you have many days of love with your human friends. May you play together and work together in gentleness and respect for one another. My furry, feathered, and scaled friends, I am happy to have met you. May your life be blessed. Blessed be. Ashe. Amen.